It's been a while, a bit since my last video, and I wanted to be sure that I put up this will be the last video in the uh, having a loved one go to treatment, and this will be kind of having them right before they come home. It's been a bit since I put one up because I've been having I had some things happen in my life recently that have been difficult and that I've had to deal with. And I have to be careful to not um, rely on um, kind of acting or putting on airs or ego to comfort pain. So when things are difficult and there is suffering, to feel it and face it. I find it um, kind of easy to find humor. I find it easy to speak, to be witty, but that can also be a bit of armor, and I can use that to avoid. And I've done that for a long time, and I am so having lived an inauthentic life for so long. You know, there's a part in the AA Big Book where it says we will something about we will repel as if it were a hot flame, talking about alcohol, and I feel that way about this kind of inauthenticity and going back to the person I was. It's like as if it were a hot flame. I just can't get anywhere near it. So I'm just hypersensitive when I'm going through something to not have anything that might get in the way that I've used in the past to cover up and escape and find comfort in. Um, I say all of that for a reason. One, just to kind of share, but also because I'm talking about when someone is coming home from treatment and we're kind of getting ready for the discharge process and then coming home. And so I've been doing this a long, long time. I've been in recovery for the vast majority of my life. I mean, I I've never had a legal drink. I got sober before I was out of high school. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. And like these things I'm learning, these things I'm talking about, like these are the last handful of years, 6 or 7 years maybe, and it's changing all the time. So I share that to mean I think it's important to curb expectations that coming out of treatment, coming out of a 28-day program, while um, a big deal and impressive and a huge accomplishment, is not a solution to an illness. It is just a beginning. Uh, Essentially, what's happened is you've gone into a facility to stave off being around what you're used to being around, to get away from the illness, clear your head, let your brain kind of rest and heal a bit, learn some tools, and now you're going to learn to use those tools on the outside. So this is the beginning. This is not kind of, okay, I've got it, like akin to an education, like, okay, I've graduated, now let's get on with living. This is very, very different. Um, and in a way, I think that's look, life is just this journey of learning, and I try to learn every day. I try to grow every day. One of the programs I'm involved with, the founders made this tremendous statement that I just hold on to tightly. He says, the longer I've been sober, I don't have less to work on, I have more to work on because I'm less willing to put up with what I used to be willing to put up with. So the more I recover, I don't have less defects, I have more defects because I see more and I'm less willing to put up with these issues in my life that once I was fine with. It's kind of this fine tuning, and it's this it's an always process, and we break it down to a day at a time. So just to kind of curb expectations coming out of treatment that this is not okay, that's done with, now we're moving on, back to life, let's go. This is kind of just a new beginning and learning how to live a life without all of these survival skills that were once very useful that ended up being problematic. It's not easy. It's not easy for anyone involved. And so, how to best prepare? One is to find out what the plan is. So this is where we really want to make a clear distinction of the plan versus conviction. Conviction and motivation are not the solutions for addiction. It's fine to have, right? Maybe it makes the day a little easier, but do not be reliant on conviction or this motivation to gain recovery or sobriety. These things are fleeting. These things will come and they will go. Your loved one needs to stay sober on the days they want to and the days they don't. Um, the, the hours they want to and especially the hours they don't. Like this idea of, you gotta want to and it's for you and this kind of motivation. This is too much to expect. Um, this is an illness that'll catch you. That cunning, baffling, powerful. It'll catch you with that because it'll say, nah, I just don't feel like it today. I don't think I need that meeting. Well, it doesn't matter if you think you need the meeting, right? That has nothing to do with it. You follow the plan. It's like insulin for the diabetic. You don't like feelings don't enter into it. Like it's do you need the insulin or do you not? That's the proposition. It's not do I feel like it. And so that's where we want to get with a plan for discharge. Okay, are we going to 12-step meetings? If so, how many a week? Where are they? And if so, be prepared that's a really great program. It's really helpful. It's available. It's free. It's really, really beneficial. Um, it's a lot of time and commitment, but boy, does it pay off. But I just want you to be prepared that it's a big ask. It's a continuation of care, right? So it's kind of a step down of treatment in a sense. So the meeting's an hour, but there's time before the meeting and after the meeting that also add to that. So you're looking at about a 2-hour commitment for each meeting, plus the time when you're talking to your peer group from the meetings in between and the time you're doing the step work from the meetings. But boy, is it helpful. So beyond the 12 steps, you want to find out if there's any programmatic clinical setting you're going to go to, such as a step down in care, like an outpatient or intensive outpatient, that's just the number of days or hours you're going to go to it, or a partial day program. And again, where, how often, what time, what's the commitment? Again, this is where you want to be very careful of, I want to know the plan, I'm on board with the plan, I want to support the plan, but it is your plan. And my role is to support you in the plan. My role is not to police the plan. I'm supportive. I want you to succeed. I'm here for you. Um, it's good to ask, what would you like from me in this setting? But we want to be careful not to get into this other role of, okay, give me the plan. I'm going to make sure you do this. Now you're stepping out of the role, and it's going to cause problems. It's just going to cause problems and resentments. And it's just not where you want to put yourself. Um, Everyone's recovery is their own responsibility. It's my decision what I'm going to do with my well-being. It's up to me, and I need to take responsibility for that. I would love the support. I would love people to be on board with it, but ultimately it's up to me. I have to do it. And so as a family member, it's important that you know that the loved one has that autonomy. It's not your responsibility, but you can ask, what would you like from me? How can I support you? Do you want me to check in with this? Should we, once a week, should we kind of look at this and see how it's going? Do you want me to, can I come to a meeting? Can I check it out? That's perfectly reasonable. But, again, some boundaries along the way. So know the plan, and then how can I support the plan? And then again, I'm gonna hit on this again. You need your own plan. This impacts everyone. So while your loved one is getting out of treatment, they have their plan. What is your plan? What are you going to do? Right? Um, and you may be thinking, well, I don't have time for anything there. I don't have that convenience. Well, okay, so maybe you're gonna start with some meditation, right? You're gonna start with taking 5 minutes. You're gonna start with yoga. You're gonna start with some mindfulness apps. Start with some self care. Um, but if you can, right, start looking at some things. Start some Al-Anon, or some reading Attached, which is a great book. Start reading some codependency stuff. All this stuff. It just entails a lot of this. If you don't have a therapist, look into getting a therapist. It just works better. The foundation is communication. Talk. How can I be of help? This is what I would find helpful. These are my needs. I want to support you. This is what I'm comfortable with. This is what I'm not comfortable with. Know that going forward. Don't assume that stuff is going to work itself out. It's better to talk about it. And then the another kind of issue that comes up is the house. Alcohol in the house. How do you keep the house? Personal choice. Most people want alcohol out of the house. For some people, they don't mind it, but it's probably better safe than sorry. It's probably best at 2 in the morning. And people will say, well, I drink vodka. I don't care if there's wine in the house. 2 in the morning, when you've lost your job and you can't sleep, alcohol is alcohol. So it's better safe than sorry, is my advice. So open communication, know the plan, take care of yourself, one day at a time. plan versus conviction, and realize this is a daily reprieve. We're always growing, we're always learning. This is not something we graduate to. So have some grace, and don't expect too much too soon, too easy. This is a lot. So give yourself some grace for that. So hopefully that helps.